report, but then again, we also just touched base with Grace. Grace, good morning. Happy to see you this morning. And you see, Grace, when we talk about politics, it's a game of numbers. And in this by-election, it is the very same numbers that will determine who is the winner and who is the loser. But even while at it, what are the kind of numbers that we are looking at in the ongoing by-elections, Grace?
Right, a very good morning to you, Aseto, and our dear viewers, including our dear panelists who joined us this early morning. Well, this particular contest is very hot, but of course we want to understand why particularly we're having these by-elections, and of course even bring in the numbers that of course both the opposition and the government that they're trying to garner out of these particular by-elections. And we're going to start with Magarini constituency. Remember, 6 parliamentary contests are happening this particular day, or this is the 27th. Apart from that, we also have 1 senatorial seat and 16 wards. We are going to start with the Magarini constituency, where we have 450,070 registered voters. Of course, some may argue that it is a small number, but it is very significant because it's going to speak a lot about how the opposition and the government are prepared ahead of the major election, that is the 2027 general election. How did we get here? We got there after the Supreme Court nullified the election of Harrison Kombe, who's now vying again under ODM ticket, and he's going head-to-head with Stanley Kenga of the DCP party. Another contest asset that I say is very keen to watch out, because most people have been assuming that Gachagua is just a leader of the Mount Kenya region, but he has a candidate in the Magarini constituency, and of course we're going to see how that pans out. Another one is Banisa constituency in Mandera County, where it has 32,703 registered voters. Here, of course, we know how we got here. It's because of the former member of parliament, the late Kulo Malim Hassan, died following a road accident in 2023. Both Magarini and Banisa are some of the constituencies that have had no representation for the longest time, because we're talking about 2022 and 2023. So since then, today, they have not been having any representation, hence why we are having that particular by-election in Banisa constituency in Mandera County. Away from that as well, we have these are the candidates. As I said, we have Hassan Ahmed Malim, who is the brother of the late Malim under the UDA ticket. And we have Mohammed Nuruddin Malim, another candidate of the UPA ticket. This contest, of course, we're expecting to see how that particular one will also pan out in Banisa constituency. Apart from that, we are also going to another hotly one, Mbeere North constituency. This one, I know all eyes are on this particular one, because for most it is a battle between the government and the opposition. Of course, others argue that it is a battle between the deputy presidents, the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua and the current, that is Kithure Kindiki. It has 55,124 registered voters. As I said, it is a contest that, of course, many are waiting to see how that will pan out. Both the deputy presidents, the former and the current, have been camping here at Mbeere North for a week, trying to woo voters to vote for them. So we are talking about 109 polling stations and 124,000 registered voters. We move on now to Malaba constituency, another constituency that they are. Of course, these are the candidates of Mbeere. We have Leo Muthende under UDA. We have Waihoro Simon Maura under UMP. Muringi Isaac Ngiri of UPA. And as I said earlier, we also have one from the DCP party. Apart from that, we also have the Malava constituency. Of course, where we're having this by-election following the death of the former member of parliament, that is Malulu Injende, who died earlier this year. It is a constituency in Kakamega County with 94,417 registered voters, 133 polling stations. And as I said, it is also another keen constituency that we are looking at. And also from the reports that we had last night is that there were chaos in Malava, but of course our reporters are going to be telling us more of that. But the voting process has already begun. We're talking about 2 hotly contests, all right? From the United Opposition, this is a candidate from the DAP Kenya, that is Panyako Seth, and from the DCP, who stepped down in favor of the DAP Kenya party. So it will be between DAP Kenya and also ODM party. Those are just that is from the Malaba constituency, as I said, another hotly contested. Apart from that, we also have Ugunja constituency. We got here because the former member of parliament, that is Opiyo Wandayi, is now cabinet secretary under the Kenya Kwanza administration. The constituency in Siaya County has 46,478 registered voters with 92 polling stations. Like I said, Aseto, this number seems quite low, but they have a great impact. So we are here in Ugunja, as I said, because the former member of parliament is now in a cabinet, and he's the CS Energy, that is Opiyo Wandayi. Those are the numbers that are coming for you from Ugunja constituency, Siaya County. Apart from that, another hotly contest is Kasipul. But of course, before we go to Kasipul, Ugunja, these are some of the candidates that are vying, including one from Jubilee Party. Very interesting to see how this will pan out. I mean, this is from the western region. Let us move on to the next slide in Kasipul constituency. Another very important or key polling that is happening this morning. It is in Homa Bay County. It has 67,513, one of the highest actually registered voters. Remember, these voting are from from the IEBC of 2022. So they have 67,513 registered voters with 89 polling stations. It is also another key one because the son of the former member of parliament, Ongono Were, who died here in Nairobi following a gunshot by a gunman, his son, Boyd Were, is actually taking head on this he's actually trying to follow the footsteps of his father. He's one of the candidates here in Kasipul. It has been a constituency that has been marred by chaos. If you can remember, I said to what happened there, both candidates, Ngodo Were and also the independent candidate Opoko, have been fined $1 million shillings each following the chaos that erupted during the campaign period. But these are the numbers when it comes to Kasipul constituency. But apart from the parliamentary seats, we also have one senatorial seat in Baringo County, where following the death of William Cheptumo at a Nairobi hospital earlier this year, one that shocked the nation, Baringo County has 657 candidates, and it is a battle between UDA and an independent candidate, amongst others. Remember, Kanu party dropped out from the race. Apart from those, these are the candidates for Baringo. We have Kiplawat Shadra Kibet, AFC Party, Letesio Samuel Beneo, Kipruto Steve David, Benjamin Chebon Kiprop, and Cheburut Kiprono Chemiti of UDA Party, and Kirui Denio Kipchirchir of UMP Party. Apart from that, we also have 16 wards. Aseto, as I said, we are waiting to see how this will pan out, and we'll bring in our viewers, of course, the numbers as and when we get them. Back to you, Aseto.
For that and breaking down the numbers, you know, like we say, politics is a game of numbers, and that just highlights how critical these numbers are in declaring who the winner will be and who will lose. And with that, we just get into this conversation with Professor Alfred Omenya, who is policy and governance expert.